ladies and gentlemen. This is Elevate Voice TV, and thank you for following us, subscribing on our channel. Thank you for watching the videos, liking them, commenting. It has really been a very nice interactive process with you all. Yes, and on this program, Food and Nutrition. Yeah, Food and Nutrition is such an interesting program we have on this Voice TV, and it covers a lot. It covers your food knowledge. It provides the basics of food, the knowledge, so that you're sure about the lifestyle you're living. Remember, food can kill you, food can heal you, food can keep you healthy. A lot of things surround food, and our lifestyles and the way we handle it are really going to cause us a lot in the nutrition lifestyle we are going to output. Yes, so today I am Lawino, your presenter, and I come with a very interesting topic, one that is getting to the world's concern. It's such an interesting one. Just some days back, an article was published in the Daily Monitor, and it talks about the same topic I'm going to share with you today. And this is the childhood obesity. Yeah, childhood obesity is really becoming a concern in the country, in the world, and in a lot of places. And it is coming about because of very many causes, very many reasons. And these surround our lifestyle, environmental aspects, and the social kind of life we are living. It's coming about by due to the urbanization that is on board. Yes, and these are all some root causes. They contribute to serious root causes of this childhood obesity. So when you talk about obesity in children, it is when you calculate their BMI and it outgoes some range. Yes, in the BMI calculations, we use the height and weight. As nutritionists, we come up with, we get the height divided, the height in meters squared, then the weight in kilograms. So we divide the weight by the height. For that reason, therefore, it's kilogram per meters squared, and we get the BMI. The normal range is between 18.5 to 24.9. Now, for this reason, most of the children in this generation, in the world today, in the country today, have been got with an alarming percentage lying in the overweight and obesity categories. So we come up today with such an interesting topic on table. I suggest you leave everything and just pay attention to the incoming knowledge, the exciting experience you're going to have, the knowledge that you'll tell your auntie, your sister, your brother, your father, your mother, your child, the knowledge that you're going to spread over. Yes. So in the childhood obesity, we have the root causes being us, the parents, they, the parents, in handle. The parents are in control. No, a child is a person who is supposed to get every etiquette from a parent. Is a person who is supposed to listen and be driven by their parent. Yes, so for this childhood obesity, we realize that as the parents, they, the parents out there, you, the parent watching, you have full control to this, or to preventing this, or to allowing it happen. And remember, if you spoil the generation today for your child, if you spoil their health status today, you increase their chances of suffering the obesity repercussions in their adulthood. Some of them might even be suffered at their early ages, and this will not really do us good. So in the first list of the root causes, we have poor diet habits. Poor diet habits are really very key in this kind of obesity result. Yes, so for the poor diet habits, they are really being impacted on by the level of advertisement. Realize that the children out there know that noodles have been advertised on NTV, and when you take them out, it's going to be the first order that will come into their mind. They know that KFC is fancy, and this, so they end up having the lifestyle goals of dwelling with such a lifestyle, such a diet choice. Yes, and yet us, the parents, can step in and always tell them Yes, you can resort to this. Yes, you can have this, but also have this. Have a vegetable, have a fruit too. Have the unsweetened yogurt instead of the sweetened one. You see, parents have a lot of, they can step in. You have a lot of control to preventing this from happening. Why would it be the world's leading? Why would it be something that would attract concern? And yet, as the parents are aware, and as the parents can do something about it. Yes. So, another thing, another root cause is that the parents' nature of feeding, the mother's nature of feeding during the pregnancy. Back then, on this same program, colleagues of mine presented the 1,000 days of life. Yes, this is very key. A woman of reproductive age, a woman during pregnancy has foods that she's supposed to consume. So when she consumes recklessly, she's going to end up giving birth to a baby who is above the weight that is expected for a baby's size, for a baby's level. And it's an alarming thing. So as women of reproductive age, as pregnant mothers, as expectant mothers, can we please monitor the best way we can feed, have the optimum nutrition, feed a balanced diet, don't dwell too much on trans fatty acid food sources, don't dwell too much on the meat sources, have a balance of it. Have your plate at least having a half of vegetables. Generate some folic acid in your diet. Have the best so that in the 1,000 days, the result will be promising. It will cause health because the 1,000 days theory, according to UNICEF, according to World Health Organization, it really believes and it emphasizes that the root cause of the nutrition results in your child will start right from the time you have conceived them. So if you're having the best nutrition, you're not going to have an overweight baby. And this overweight baby surprise, like in the meantime, or as time goes on, by the time they are 2, they're already suffering overweight issues. And then by the time they are 3, you try so hard to try to monitor them. Remember, a baby is quite sedentary or is carrying them. They do less physical exercises, less motions. So at the end of the day, this child is going to have overweight. Okay, they are not going to look like the children of their ages. And for that reason, therefore, the child gets into nursery and faces social repercussions, a lot of discomfort from their peers. You know, in those nursery schools, some people body shame, not because they are children, not because they are doing it just because they are children. They don't have the social discipline. They do comment on what they see. Some of them are frank enough to even tell them, for you, how were you born? You know, such things are going to affect our children. The child out there is not going to be comfortable in the social premises they belong. Yes, so we, as parents, you know very well, you're the husband, you're the wife, you're the incoming mother, you're the expectant mother at the moment. Please monitor your nutrition. Make sure that children are going to have the best in the results during their growth, during their infant stage, during the toddler stages, during the weaning stages. Always ensure the food proportions you're giving them are just the right ones. Yes. So another issue we are having on board is that after giving birth, very many of the parents, very many of the mothers end up not exclusively breastfeeding their children. Remember, this breast milk that is naturally given to mothers is in very right proportions. It has the very much right proportions of nutrients to human health. And whenever you don't exclusively breastfeed, at least for the first 6 months of your child's life, you're going to affect their nutrition life. You're going to affect their health status in just the incoming 2 years or 1 year in their infant stages. Yes, so as mothers, however much you're busy, try to exclusively breastfeed. Right now, the technology has advanced it to the extent that we have expressive breastfeeding, where you're going to just pump out breast milk, leave it in the right condition, hygienically well, leave it in the fridge let the housemaid, let your sister, let the caretaker of the baby just thaw it and give it to the baby, rather than you resorting to infant formula, rather than you resorting to other methods, and yet you can still do breastfeeding. So breastfeeding can be your first option. Breastfeeding can be the first thing that you're supposed to take up for the baby's first nutrition etiquette, the baby's first diet. Then most of us during weaning, we are supposed to wean children with some proportions, and the proportions turn out to be wrong, and at times you're giving the child more of what is not required. Remember when you are complementary feeding during the time of weaning, you breastfeed and just add in some foods. Now these foods, this is a time where you have to add in iron-rich foods, because iron wasn't an element of the breast milk, but the baby's iron stores that the baby is born with get used up. So during this time after 6 months, complementary breastfeeding is very key. Now the problem, most mothers, when it reaches weaning, you want to introduce the child. When the child gets a little bit used to the feeding practice, to the weaning, to the introduction of food, you want to exempt them from breastfeeding, and yet breastfeeding is best done at least for 2 years. Yes, so let's try to look into that. Another cause, just to take you back a review, the first was poor diet options that we are allowing our children to take up. The second one was the parental control that we are having into this feed. And then the third one was the nutrition of the expectant mother. The fourth one was the exclusive breastfeeding that people are not practicing right now. The complementary breastfeeding that people no longer do but only want to indulge you just want to introduce a child to weaning, and then after, when they stop, you want to remove them. You want to remove them and take up other options. You want to stop them from breastfeeding with this kind of quoted excuses of, I'm saving myself, I don't have time. That's not, these are quoted excuses, and they are really not worth it. Yes, so out there, there are also other root causes of childhood obesity, and this also include the screen time that we allow our children to have. This causes them to adopt a sedentary lifestyle. What do we mean by a sedentary lifestyle? A lifestyle where your child does more of sitting, your child doesn't exercise. On top of having the high calorie intake, your child is doing more of sitting. The child is on phone, the child is on TV 24/7, the child is having a lot of time spent while sitting. And yet, there should be other kind of activities your child should indulge in. As a child of a growing age, as a child of an infant, toddler age, nursery going school ages, these children are supposed to be very active and not just seated. So it really causes a lot of problems, and the repercussions are childhood obesity. Dear parent out there watching this program, watching me right now, please have a key point in your mind that sedentary lifestyle for a child of these infant ages isn't the way to go. It's going to result to childhood obesity. Yes, another cause that we have on table is the level of physical exercise our children do. It is very alarming that you don't even allow your children to take part in the household chores like gardening, like sweeping the compound. The child just wakes up and they literally have nothing to do. They only have to sit and have the day end just like that. Really, it's not something good, and you're going to have childhood obesity resulting. Yes, then we should also take up the habit of having our children go for medical checkups once in a while so that they can have their BMI tracked. When you realize it is getting out of hand, it's at the peak or it's at the risk of becoming obesity, yes, you can handle it as early as possible. Yes, most of us also have household diets. We have very alarming household preferences of the foods we choose. Yes, you find a family, on Monday, they eat rice and meat. On Tuesday, they buy KFC. On Wednesday, it's literally just liver and chicken and chips. On Thursday, let me say the foods that you're taking up as a family menu are going to end up affecting all the categories of the age groups in your family, especially the children that have nothing to say about it, the children that are not making these decisions, the children that can comply with your right or wrong decisions. So you're going to affect these infants. And this is now causing a lot of alarm. The childhood obesity is at the peak and it's affecting children. Finding a child of 5 years with a heart disease is alarming. It is so sorrowful. It's something we can stand out as a nation and fight against. Yes. Yes. So those are some of the causes. Causes not leaving behind this one of genetic factors. Yes, some of us are born already with the genetic kind of build up that you're going to have high chances or you're at a risk of becoming obese. Yes, so that genetic factor is going to end up making you insulin resistant with time. You're obese and you're having insulin resistance, it's going to end up causing diseases like type 2 diabetes. Of late, the type 2 diabetes mellitus type 2 category it used to be ranked for adults of over 40, but nowadays you have a child of 5 having type 2 diabetes, meaning there is a problem with the generation today. There is a worry, there is a concern. It's too much. Yes, so for the genetic factor, when you realize it's a genetic thing, that people are usually diabetic, please consult nutritionists and dietitians. Have yourselves worked upon in that kind of diet that you take up so that the risk does not become overwhelming to the condition you're having. Just imagine you have the risk, your diet is poor, it increases it fastens the rate that you're going to be a victim. Yes. So those were some of our causes. We shall get back. Let's take up a break. We shall get back with the preventive measures of childhood obesity. Thank you for watching. Just take a glass of water. Keep hydrated. It's quite hot and rainy. It's a mixed weather season. So as we get onto the break, take a glass of water. I'll be back to you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In the previous clip, we had the causes. I took you through the causes, and now we are back here to know the repercussions and the solution of childhood obesity. Hope you haven't forgotten that topic yet. Childhood obesity. Yes. So, one of the repercussions or the problems is hypertension. I've seen children of very young ages in the health sector being diagnosed with hypertension. This is high blood pressure, and this is because these lifestyle choices of diets that we always take up. If you fetch into the previous video we had with cholesterol education, yes, that whether fats are good or bad. Yes, so you realize that most of the lifestyle choices that we make, the grilled beefs, those choices that we make, those fatty foods that we take up, are going to have high cholesterol levels. So that cholesterol is going to end up, it has a way, it just lines up in our arteries and thins them or narrows them. And after that, you'll end up having hypertension. So imagine after having the obesity situation, you also have hypertension as another issue you're having. Yes. Then you can also have a repercussion of liver fatty diseases. Yeah, because when you take most of the lifestyle choices that we are making and most of the foods that result into childhood obesity have also high fat content, or sometimes most of them have high calorie content. So the excess is usually converted into fats. So when the fat tissues or the fat stores are filled up, the body loses ability to just manage the fluctuation. The body ends up failing you, and you end up having fat deposited at the liver where it's not supposed to be. Yes, so you have the liver fatty disease. And for that reason, therefore, you'll start having the dietitians telling you, don't eat this, limit this, reduce this. You can imagine such a lifestyle at a very young child age, and you already have restrictions of your diet. For those who remember, those who have had chronic diseases at early ages, when you are a child and you start getting restrictions, you get discomfort. Oh, Mercy, before you get out of this place, wear a sweater, wear this, wear a body stocking. Like, you want to be with your friends, you want to play, and they're like, it's going to rain, come in the house. So you see all that kind of life, it's not good for the child. So childhood obesity should really be kicked out of our story. Yes. So another repercussion that we can get is the mental and social discomfort that your child is going to develop. There is going to be bullying. There is going to be loss of esteem, loss of confidence. You know, when you know your admins are supposed to have a certain kind of figure, a certain kind of body shape, and for you having already a fat kind of belly, you've been you can imagine a child of such an age being taken for gastrostomy, where they're supposed to have a surgery and cut part of your stomach so that it reduces in size. This is really so bad. Another repercussion is that you're going to increase your risks of developing adult obesity. When you had childhood obesity, in the adulthood stages, there are very many cases, or there are very many chances that you're going to develop adult obesity. Another problem is you can have respiratory issues. Remember, whenever we have extreme weight to our bodies handle, you're going to end up having issues with your breathing regulations. You just walk a short distance and you're feeling fatigued, you're feeling tired, you're breathing heavily, you're not, like, the weight that you have is not suiting the body. At the end of the day, another repercussion comes in, and that's joint and bones diseases. Because of that too much weight to the growing bones of this child, you're going to end up having issues with the joints and the bones, the pain. You people, parents out there, it's not nice seeing your child in such a condition, and yet you can have control over it. And another thing, remember, whatever you will instill in your child at that young, tender age is going to be the lifestyle they're going to take up. The child will always resort to cooking rather than buying fast food. The child will resort to making juice at home rather than taking up sugary beverages. The child is going to grow up to a better lifestyle in nutrition because of your impact as a parent. Yes, so taking you to the preventative measures, for the childhood obesity, it can be dealt with. Yes, we can prevent it from happening rather than just getting solutions to it. Check out on this. We can have a very, try to establish a good sleeping routine of about 10 to 12 hours for the children between 2 to 5 years, and then 8 to 10 hours for the children of about 5 to 8 hours. 5 to 12 years. Yes, that will be so good for you. It will be of a great advantage. Yes, so it is a very good thing if you just establish such a routine in your family and the child gets enough sleeping hours. You give the body time to set up for the next day. You give it time to regulate insulin production, and insulin resistance is going to be something very minimal in happening. Yes. Then another thing that we can take up is, let's try to make our snack choices very nutritious. Instead of ordering a burger, maybe a beef burger, try to make it more vegetable filled, however much it has the beef element. Yes, let's try to know the proportions that you're supposed to give our children. You have ever found a child who is 5 years being given half a grilled chicken, half, and that was just a snack between the 3 meals the child has in a day? You can imagine at the end of the day how much how much calorie the child has put to the body. Remember, I told you, if you want to know how deep a problem can be, let the body fail you. That's how you realize that being in the hospital is not nice, having these problems are not nice, they are expensive. Yes, so let's regulate our socio-economic abilities to a level that can respect the nutritious recommendations for our children. Yes. Then another preventive measure is, let's have family routines of physical exercise. A child of about 2 years or 3 years to about 6 years, they're supposed to have a physical exercise routine of about 60 minutes per day. That's just an hour. So you can break it down. Let the child have some drill in the morning. Let the child go out and play with friends. Take the child to the park. Have evening walks. Have some runs or rides. Yes, so this you can find where you can afford to provide a physical exercise ability, so that the child also gets a chance to explore. At the end of the day, they get what they enjoy, so that they take it up as a lifestyle event in their lives. So at the end of the day, your child, because of the instilling of soccer from their childhood, the child becomes a good footballer in their leisure times as they grow up. So we end up reducing it so much in all levels of growth. And then we also have, let's have good family meals taken up. Yes, you can use AI nowadays. You can use dietitian knowledge, nutritious knowledge. Yes, we have very many nutritionists out there in the work field. Yes, you can take up advice and really know how should a prophylactic diet be. That's a regular diet. How should it be? It has recommendations of daily allowance. Yes, so a child of this age, how should the child eat? Yes, try to cater for different age groups, their proportions and their intakes. At the end of the day, we shall have covered this. And then I think lastly, let's try so hard to always monitor our weights and heights. Let's try so hard to always seek healthcare knowledge. Let's not only go to the hospital when you're sick. You people, maintaining health is very good. It's very key, rather than trying to recover from diseases. It is really not that good. Yes, so thank you for enjoying this topic with us. Thank you for being with us on this Childhood Obesity program. Don't forget their online messages, their online knowledge sources. There is infant and young children and procedures, yes, by World Health Organization, UNICEF, and they provide the maternal, the infant, the teenage nutritious kind of advice. Yes, so it's very good to follow up on such leaflets, on such PDFs online, and that will be of very good help. They are verified, trust me. It will result into health, not cries. They are not lies, they have been certified. So thank you so much for watching this program, Food and Nutrition. Keep on following us, keep on liking, subscribing, get updated whenever we bring in videos if you subscribe. Yes, so we are live on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. That's X nowadays. There is a lot that we are live on. YouTube channel is one of them too. And then you remember Elevate Voice TV, amplifying voices, inspiring the world. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.